Travis is everything. It's his turn now.
Does he remind you of you in terms of
He's
his
better.
athletic?
Travis is better. But no, Travis is better than I was at the aging stage.
Deion Sanders has been on record multiple times saying that Travis Hunter is just a far better athlete, football player, and is just on a whole nother level than Deion Sanders ever was. So in my head, I'm like, how do we really test that? So we're going to do that in a small version here. We're going to take a look at some of the facts and figures, compare their collegiate years, especially as this is going to be Travis Hunter's most likely last collegiate year. We're also going to look at some of their accolades and see how they stack up and see how the different history that was being made. A fun fact, I do want you to understand that from the Travis Hunter perspective, he was the highest rated player to ever commit to an HBCU, as well as being the only ever 5-star recruit to commit to an HBCU since ESPN has even been tracking in 2006. So this guy is already breaking records in different ways. He's a trendsetter. He's trying to do things in, I think, a whole new level like Deion is. So let's see what the stats and figures and facts have to say. And then, of course, we're going to get into some of the other comments of him and talking about how he alluded to Travis Hunter being better than him and see how we can back that up. But hey, first things first, if you're enjoying these videos, man, which I really hope you are, go ahead and leave a like on this video. Dislike it if you don't like it. And then after that, go ahead and comment if you like and enjoy college football content, because we're going to be coming right at you. I got my handy dandy notes here just to give you some facts and figures, just some small facts about Mr. Deion Sanders. By the way, he played, of course, both sides. He was compared early in his freshman year to FSU great Bobby Butler. Little fun fact, Deion Sanders was a quarterback in high school, so a man of many talents. Don't disrespect prime time, okay? 1985, obviously started as a freshman, wide receiver and DB, 6'1", 175 as a freshman, doing what he do, how he does it. 1985, we have 22 for 20, the tackles, obviously, total 42 of them things. How many? What the ends at? What them pick things at? One, is that that's an interception yard. So he had one interception of 100 yards, 4 PBUs, 4 interceptions his sophomore year, 29 and 2 quarterbacks. He was getting after it. And of course his senior year, obviously 4 interceptions here for sophomore. Senior year, 5 of them things and 2 touchdowns, 6 PBUs. But both of these, it seemed like they didn't even want to. They didn't want to throw to him very much, because that's why he didn't get that many interceptions. It looks like he was getting active when it comes to the quarterback hits as well. Good stuff there. And then when we go to the offensive side of things, and kick returning as well, again 10, 11, and 9 games played. He played some games, dog. He didn't have any. Where are the receiving yards? It's not showing. I know he had some receiving yards. Obviously, the kick returns. He did more punt returns. Obviously, a lot of them. 255, 290, 381. And what he made his bread and butter on heading into the league, 503 yards as a return man and a touchdown. Crazy that he had a touchdown in almost every single year too. But this was just effective. 15.2 average. 619 all-purpose yards that year. And that's, again, as a defensive player, not too bad, not too shabby. And obviously on some great teams too, you know what I'm saying? Handling the business the way they need to handle business. It was an absolute great time. This thing is hard to read. I got to be honest with you. This thing is This thing is hard to read. But going all over to Travis Hunter, you got his freshman year here, 18 receptions for 190 them things, and 4 touchdowns and a long of 30. Then right to 2023, again, didn't get to play as many games, but 57 receptions for 721, averaged 12.6 and had 5 touchdowns, and 5 games into the season at 4-1 in the year of 2024. That boy got 46 receptions for 561 yards, 12.2 average. Last week he was in top 10 receiving yards. Now he has a bye week, so things might have switched up a little bit. Well, we can take a peek at that a little later. But just keep in mind that he was in the top 10 in receiving yards while also playing some defense, what some people would think is elite defense. But again, back to 2022, 19 total tackles, 15 solos, 4 assisted, 8 pass defenses, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown to add on there. Again, limited play here. 2023, 31 total tackles, 23 solos, 8 assisted, 5 pass breakups, 3 of them things though. And in 2024, 2 interceptions already. I'm going backwards. 38 yards. Not a pick six. We need one of them. We need one of them pick sixes, 10 solo tackles. But I really feel like this is more of the tale of people, again, not wanting to test Travis Hunter. And when they do test Travis Hunter, I mean, he's averaging, what's it called? Not 0.35 interceptions a game. That's not bad. That's not terrible. I can't do math good. And then the scoring, I think, is really where it puts it over the fact. I mean, he's already scored 6 total touchdowns, and that is more touchdowns than both of those seasons each. So very, very potent, very, very explosive. That's just the raw stats and facts, though. I mean, what the stats and facts have to say, I'm not sure if they're as important, but they are important because they tell you what it is. But what about some accolades? What about the things that these gentlemen can hang on their shelves? And right here, we're going to get into some awards and things and add a little more context to what Deion Sanders was doing and what Travis Hunter is doing. And then after that, we're going to get into other people's personal thoughts, my thoughts, and then wrap this bad boy up. So here we have Deion Sanders, some of his awards through the world of collegiate yards. Number 1 ranked his senior year for return yards. Number 1 ranked, number 1. I don't know what this means, but career number 9, I think in punt return yards, and then of course a career number 1. What is this IND? I'm trying to see what this IND is, but regardless, punt return yards per return, number 1 in both 88. Just in 88, and number 1 with average. Again, that 15.2 average is crazy. What is it called? Wow, punt return touchdowns, number 3, 2, 8, 3. So almost every single year with the NCAA, he was ranked in the top 10 in punt return touchdowns. When we talk about, what is this Indy thing? I'm trying to see what this end is. I'm not sure what that is, but in the NCAA, we know what he was doing. Top 10 when it comes to interception return yards in his 88 year. Number 1 when it comes to interception return touchdowns in his senior year. Man, he made himself a lot of money his senior year, boy. Going over to Travis Hunter, 2023 consensus All-American. Well, where is his All-Americans? I know he was an All-American. I know he was. I might have to go back to this one right here. Let me pop this up for you. Might have to go up here. Show you his things, because I know he has some All-American awards. 1986 first team All-American in the Sporting News, Football News first team sophomore All-American, Associated Press third team All-American, and that is his freshman year. That was his sophomore year, and then junior year, American Coaches Association first team All. It's a lot of first team All-Americans. I mean, Associated Press, Walter Camp, Football News, Football Writers, Kodak. What they know about cameras? NCAA unanimous All-American, and then his senior year, somehow this list is not as long, but American Football Coaches Association first team All-American, Walter Camp first team All-American, Kodak, here it is again, unanimous All-American, absolute elite. Of course, he has time, so these things aren't as fair to compare, but elected into College Football Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame, but we're not talking about it. And then, of course, FSU Hall of Fame. Those aren't bad statistics as well. Not bad accolades. We've talked about the accolades. We've given you some things of that nature. Oh, yeah, let me finish these up. I didn't even finish giving this man his shine where he needed to shine. 23 consensus All-American. Like I said, receptions already. Wow, he's number 1 in receptions in the Big 12, number 3 in the NCAA in Golly, he's number 3 in receptions in the. That is crazy. Receiving yards. Here he is. He is not number 3. Oh, number 3 in the Big 12. Yep, top 10 in receiving yards. Still top 10 in receiving yards as a primary cornerback. Receiving touchdowns. Top 5 in receiving touchdowns. Golly, yards from scrimmage, and this is specifically obviously this because they don't have the HBCU numbers, so they only have the Colorado numbers. And of course he didn't play. He only played 9 games in 2023, but he was also hurt, so it was a little. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get to play all the games. I thought it was less than 9. It's actually he only missed that many games. I say he didn't play a lot of games, but still he didn't play the full season. Interception return yards, number 6, number 3 in the Big 12 when it comes to forced fumbles. Not bad accolades. Already was a consensus All-American last year. Did what he needed to do. Not a bad little track record here. But let's give you a little more detail. We have even more. Top ranked transfer prospect in 2023 class in 24/7 with a range of .990 and 5 stars as of 12/19. at Jackson State. He played in 8 games as a true freshman at Jackson State, seeing action in both offense and defense. Named a finalist for the Jerry Rice Award, given to the top freshman in FCS football. Earned SWAC Freshman of the Year and second team All-SWAC by Phil Steele. On defense, he finished the season with 20 tackles, 10 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and also coming up with 1 fumble recovery. Had 2+ pass breakups in 3 games, including 4 against Texas Southern, 3 against Alcorn, had interceptions against Alabama and offense. I mean, absolutely amazing. Became, of course, like I said, the first 5-star ever to recruit. Had highest ranked recruit to an HBCU, like we talked about earlier. And then this is just more breakdowns of his high school accolades there. Let's get into some of the breakdowns of who Florida State legend Deion Sanders is and kind of how he was looked at, right? We're going to read this little article. I think we all know what Travis Hunter is looked at, and I think it's clear to see that Travis Hunter's a presence in era as in ranking as a player overall is something to a level that not a lot of people are going to be able to see, achieve, and understand, right? But we cannot underestimate what Deion Sanders has given to the game of football. Even though, before we finish this and give everybody their flowers, I have to agree. Just looking at numbers, looking at how things are talked about, looking at the dominance that Travis Hunter and the ground that he was able to break, he might be rated all time than Deion Sanders. Collegiately, I don't know. Deion Sanders is one of the greatest athletes of all time. Hey, Travis is not what's it called, playing multiple sports, but Deion Sanders wasn't taking the multiple snaps like it is. As you saw when we looked at those stats, it wasn't like, 100, 300, this crazy yard game. Travis Hunter is playing both sides of the ball, dog, undeniably. Let's get into that. Deion Sanders, this is from New York Times. I believe this is actually a recent article, too. Just giving some background on old Deion. Deion Sanders, unrivaled legend at Florida State, the best athlete ever known to man. This is something that I always thought. People talk about Bo Jackson and all these other. I think Deion Sanders is the greatest athlete of all time, period. I mean, argue with a wall. So for him to say that Travis Hunter is at another level than him, that's just absurd. But anyway, 1980s, Bobby Bowden kept his Florida State football team in a hotel in Townsville, Georgia, the night before games to escape the distraction of Tallahassee. On game day, the Seminoles would bus about 45 minutes south to Burt Reynolds Hall, a dorm on Stadium Avenue, to drop off their clothes and walk to the locker room. But in 1988, Deion Sanders' fame was reaching a frenzy, and prime time was becoming prime time. There was a limo waiting in front of the dorm. At first, there was confusion. Then Sanders flashed a smile. He had arranged a private ride to ensure he arrived in style for the late November game against Florida. Oh, he was going to make that entrance, said Brad Johnson, a quarterback on the Seminoles team who played 17 seasons. God dang, 17 seasons. Shout out Brad Johnson in the NFL. I mean, who would have even think of stuff like that? I don't know why I hit it with a double. You know what I'm saying? Said then FSU safety Leroy Butler, later a 4-time first team All-Pro for the Green Bay Packers, before he became the only player to appear in both a World Series game and a Super Bowl. And long before he was Coach Prime, the energetic, everything is personal leader at Colorado. He was a young quarterback who he was a young quarterback who had to learn a new position. He was a multi-sport star who picked up track and field for 1 full year, qualified for the Olympic time trials. Golly, qualified for the Olympic. I didn't know that. I didn't know he just qualified for the Olympic time trials off rip, then never participated in the sport again. He was a cornerback so dominant that he occasionally got bored by the inaction and let receivers appear to be open to get the ball thrown his way. He was a teenager who threw down 360 dunks on frat bros doing intramurals, then left the pickup games to start as an outfielder on the baseball team. He was, despite the on-field persona, the high-stepping and the showboating, quiet in practice and focused on his craft. He cared about his brand at the time few others did, signing his autograph with a $sign for the S in his last name. And now his son is carrying on that legend. Of course, if you've seen Shedeur Sanders' logo, that is phenomenal. I don't think we need any more Deion Sanders glaze. I've given both Travis Hunter and Deion Sanders enough glaze. But as we say it, and I will stand on, I think Travis Hunter collegiately is just a better player just because he did it in both ways, and he's doing it at a higher clip in a way that I don't think we've ever seen. So I got to give it to him. He's no Jabril Peppers, okay? He is master of both, and I got to be honest with you. It's phenomenal to see. It's Shohei Ohtani levels in the NFL level. I mean, sorry, at the collegiate football level, and that's something unheard of and unseen of. But at the same time, don't you disrespect someone who is probably going to go down to top 5. When the earth explodes, dog, Deion Sanders is going to be top 5 athletes, period. Okay, but y'all be amazing, y'all be phenomenal. I appreciate y'all watching this video. If y'all like videos like these, a little bit more planned out, I'm trying to actually put some effort into some content, right? When we're not got games going on. So if you enjoy these types of content, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, like it. If you don't like this video, dislike it. If you have any problem with the things that I said or how I went about my assumptions and assertions, get at me, man. Let me know what's hot on the block. You be phenomenal, you be great, and we will see you next time the sun shines.